Who are we? The topic of Canadian identity is highly ambiguous and controversial. Does Canada lack an identity, or has it simply faded with the passage of time? John Ralston Saul and I, Rudyard Griffiths, will weigh in on this question. I am the author of Who We Are, A Citizen's Manifesto, and Canada Does Not Possess a National Identity.
I am John Ralston Saul, the author of A Fair Country, Telling Truths About Canada, and Canada Has a National Identity. We are a Métis civilization.
Canadians live in a diverse and multicultural state but lack a national identity. Canada is referred to as the greatest hotel on earth because each citizen can subscribe to their own culture while living in Canadian borders. The permeability of Canadian borders erodes any sign of a collective identity.
The roots of Canada's identity are Aboriginal. Whatever our family tree may look like, our intuitions and common sense as a civilization are more Aboriginal than European or African or Asian, even though we have created elaborate theatrical screens of language, reference and mythology to misrepresent ourselves to ourselves.
We as Canadians define ourselves using immigration. I am going to cite 2006 census data which states that only 400,000 Canadians were born in Canada between 2001 and 2006, compared with 1.2 million immigrants settling in the country during the same period. Over the past 20 years, the percentage of Canadians who are first-generation immigrants jumped from 16% in 1986 to 1 in 5 by 2006.
On the single issue of immigration and citizenship diversity, we seem unable to notice the obvious, that it is a non-racial idea of civilization, and non-linear, even non-rational. It is based on the idea on an inclusive circle that expands and gradually adapts as new people join us. This is a concept that comes directly from Aboriginal culture.
Any sense of collective unity in Canada is weakened because of immigration and the ensuing social fragmentation. Canada is at risk of becoming society separated physically along ethnic lines, with Canadians of European ancestry leading the charge towards self-segregation in gated United States-style exurban communities. Without the physical unification of ethnic communities and collective moral principles, Canada is in danger of being unable to solve critical problems such as the environment and the economy.
How you think of things will shape much of what you do or what you want to do or how you understand what you shouldn't do. The single greatest failure of the Canadian experiment, so far, has been our inability to normalize, that is, to internalize consciously the First Nations as the senior founding pillar of our civilization.
This is an era of constant change, adaptation, and disagreement. John Ralston Saul and I, Rudyard Griffiths, can agree on one thing, however, and that is that identifying a distinct identity, whatever that may be, is crucial to the future success of Canada.